Welcome to Coinlytics with Conrad, the home for deep and fact-based crypto analysis. In this session, we are focusing on one clear question that every XRP holder is curious about. What could 5,000 XRP coins be worth in 2026? To answer this, we need to explore XRP's current position, the global payment system shifts, Ripple's strategy, regulatory clarity, technical outlook, competition, and then map realistic price scenarios. By going layer by layer, we will develop a grounded perspective of where XRP could land in 2 years' time and what that means for an investment of 5,000 coins. XRP has had a complicated journey over the last several years. After spending nearly 3 years in court with the SEC, Ripple finally settled in 2025 by paying a $125 million fine and accepting limits on certain institutional sales. The most important outcome, however, was that the court ruled programmatic sales of XRP on public exchanges are not securities transactions. This means that for everyday investors and traders using exchanges, XRP is legally safe in the US. That decision removed a huge risk that had caused exchanges to delist XRP in 2020 and 2021. Since then, many exchanges have relisted it, liquidity has improved, and institutional confidence has slowly been returning. This matters because without regulatory clarity, large players avoid assets even if the technology is strong. Alongside this, Ripple has continued to push its vision of XRP as a bridge currency for cross-border payments. Their payment solution, now branded as Ripple Payments, is designed to let financial institutions and companies send money across borders instantly with lower fees than traditional SWIFT transfers. Ripple has built connections with financial institutions worldwide, and it now holds licenses in multiple jurisdictions. Each new corridor that Ripple establishes potentially increases demand for XRP liquidity. Ripple also launched RLUSD, a dollar-backed stablecoin, on the XRP ledger. This stablecoin is designed to provide liquidity and settlement efficiency for XRP transactions and could also be used independently in the broader crypto ecosystem. Together, these developments create more depth for the XRP ecosystem and ensure it is not just surviving on speculation. Another global factor is the shift toward ISO 2022 standards in the banking industry. ISO 20022 is a new payment messaging system that allows richer data and greater efficiency for cross-border payments. By 2025, SWIFT and many central banks have begun adopting this system, which makes real-time settlement solutions like Ripple's more attractive. Since XRP was built for speed and cost efficiency, it fits well in a world moving toward better digital payment standards. Although adoption does not automatically mean XRP will be chosen, being ISO aligned gives Ripple and XRP a competitive edge. Looking at the XRP ledger itself, it has developed beyond simple payments. The ledger now includes functionality for tokenized assets, stablecoins, decentralized exchanges, and automated market makers. RLUSD adds liquidity, and the XRPL's technical updates reduce slippage and make transactions cheaper. These ecosystem upgrades can attract more users, traders, and developers. The more activity on XRPL, the more liquid XRP becomes, and that strengthens its role in settlement. Adoption of stablecoins, NFTs, and DeFi tools on XRPL are all supporting factors for long-term value. Now let's look at risks and challenges. First is competition. There are many payment solutions competing for cross-border transfers. Other blockchains like Stellar, Ethereum Layer 2s, and also traditional stablecoins like USTD and USDC that are already widely used for settlement. Central banks are also exploring CBDCs, which could offer cheap and fast domestic and international settlement. If CBDCs become mainstream, XRP may face pressure unless Ripple integrates with them effectively. Second is regulatory uncertainty outside the US. While the SEC case is over, other governments may impose new rules or restrictions. Europe and Asia are building digital asset frameworks that could either help or slow XRP adoption. Third is the question of actual usage. Ripple has many partnerships, but critics argue that the number of real transactions settled through XRP is still small compared to the size of global remittances. If announced partnerships do not turn into real liquidity flows, price momentum can stall. Finally, XRP has a large circulating supply, currently close to 60 billion coins. This makes it harder to push price to extreme highs compared to coins with very low supply, since demand has to be enormous to overcome the supply. With these positives and negatives in mind, we can think about different price scenarios. If XRP struggles to grow adoption and faces competition from CBDCs or stablecoins, its price may stay near current levels. In a conservative case, by 2026, it could be around $2.5 to $3.5. For 5,000 coins, that is $12,000 to $17,000. In a more balanced and realistic case, XRP adoption improves steadily, Ripple expands Ripple payments, and RLUSD gains traction. Crypto markets remain healthy, and global adoption of ISO 2022 supports modern rails. In this case, XRP could rise to $4.5 to $6.5. That means 5,000 coins would be worth $22,000 to $32,000. In a bullish scenario, Ripple sees major institutional adoption, more countries embrace Ripple's corridors, XRPLD EFI activity grows, and a global bull cycle lifts all major crypto. If that happens, XRP could climb to $7.5 to $10 or more. That would make 5,000 XRP worth $37,000 to $50,000. These numbers are ambitious, but possible if everything lines up. When I look at today's facts, the base case is most reasonable. Regulatory risk is largely gone in the US, Ripple is actively building licensed corridors, and stablecoin liquidity is strengthening the ledger. Payment industry trends like ISO 2022 are in XRP's favor. But competition is strong, adoption is not guaranteed, and the large supply means it needs constant growth in demand. Considering all these, a price of around $4 to $6 by 2026 seems like the most balanced outcome. That would still mean a doubling of value from current levels and a fair return on holding 5,000 coins, but it avoids unrealistic hype. For investors and viewers, the most important lesson is to think in ranges, not absolute targets. Track Ripple's news carefully and distinguish between marketing announcements and real adoption. Pay attention to how many corridors are active and what real volume flows through them. Monitor XRP ledger activity, particularly the growth of stablecoins like RLUSD and decentralized liquidity pools. Watch global regulation, since favorable rules could open new markets, while harsh rules could restrict XRP's use. And always practice risk management, because crypto markets can swing up or down very quickly. So what will 5,000 XRP be worth in 2026? The answer is not fixed, but depends on adoption, regulation, competition, and market cycles. In a weak environment, maybe only $12,000 to $17,000. In a realistic case, more like $22,000 to $32,000. In a very strong cycle with adoption breakthroughs, perhaps up to $50,000 or beyond. The future is uncertain, but by following the signals and staying grounded in facts, you can prepare yourself for different outcomes. This has been Coinlytics with Conrad, giving you no hype, only facts. Thank you for joining me today, and I look forward to bringing you more deep analysis in the next session. This is educational content only and not financial advice. Always do your own research before investing in cryptocurrencies.